Hi, Paden. Nice to see you again and talk to you and have this opportunity to meet with you.
Yeah, I'm pleasure to be here. Super excited to talk and chat.
Yeah, since we last connected, a lot has happened, and we have kind of formed a nice partnership here, and I have really restructured my whole practice and my whole approach on how I'm helping patients improve their metabolic conditions and really optimize their health from the ground up. And part of this was your product and your philosophy and everything that kind of aligned with what we were doing and the values that we shared. So for those of you that don't know you and what your organization is about, if you can please share who you are and what SickFit is about.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, Franco, I just want to say thank you so much. I think you hit it right on the head. Changing the foundation from the ground up, and feet are often overlooked, but they truly are your foundation and shape anything and everything that you do moving through life, literally. But for those of you all who don't know me, my name is Paden Sickles. I am the CEO and founder of SickFit. I spent about 11 years in the military as an Army engineer officer. And for me, it was just a lot of time on my feet. So, rucking, running, the ceremonies, and lots of miles to say the least. And only thing that was really bothering me was my feet constantly. So I was getting blisters, bleeding, and then up having some more severe issues with two ACL reconstructs, some ruptured Achilles, some herniated disc in my back, and then plantar fasciitis, and just everything that you could think of just happened. It really was derived from my feet. So I got tired of low quality socks. We engineer our own now, which Franco you love and your patients
Hmm.
love.
Hmm.
Now it's being able to help everybody with their foot issues and make their way of life a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, no, great. Thank you for sharing that. And that's I love hearing those stories where there was a problem and rather than just going through the motions and trying to figure out how to improve it, you took action and hopefully this can trickle all the way throughout the entire Department of Defense because I mean the socks really do make a difference. And from my story of how I ended up meeting with you in the 2023 military conference. My journey also started from my time in service, and during my deployment that I had in 2003 we had manning the burn pits and all these different toxic exposures that combined with my genetic predisposition when I came back, still in my early 20s and in good shape, all of a sudden I started feeling terrible, fatigued all the time. At night, I was waking up gasping for air, and then pain worsened from injuries I had sustained, and I felt restless all the time, but unable to feel recovered, and I was just needing to sleep and nap all the time, and instead of providing me with what was going on, not understanding what happening, it was just started in a cocktail of medications that kept me in a brain fog, all the time, and this kind of inhibited me to continue my military career, which is what I was wanting.
Mhm.
And when I got out, I ended up myself just finding myself feeling hopeless and just seeing my health deteriorate, and it just didn't make sense, in the physical state that I was, but I really didn't know what was going on. And once they checked labs and drew everything, they found the beginnings of diabetes with obstructive sleep disorder and all these cluster of conditions that now we know these toxic burn pits have a huge impact on that, and it affects us, all the way, from inside and all systems of our body. But this kind of progressed. We're feeling in the fog and tired all the time, and to the point where I was driving in the middle of the highway one day in the middle of the day, and I had to pull over to sleep because I was just unsafe driving behind the wheel. And when I woke up is really when I decided I wanted to do something to take charge of my life, and I did everything I could to find out how I could improve it. And this is what led me to the field of nutrition. And I pursued a degree in nutrition and exercise physiology, and I was able to apply the things that I was learning to myself and started reversing that progress and with more energy. And I was able to start exercising again. I started eating in the way that my body was responding well, and all the symptoms just improved. And this kind of sparked my interest to be able to help people with these uh, symptoms of metabolic decline that they might not even know is occurring. And 20 years later, I've been able to keep my diabetes into remission, and now have developed protocols to really help thousands of people achieve the same and get off medications, renew their energy, and really get their body responding the way it is. And that carried on, like I said, for a long while. And then right before I met you in 2023, I had just launched my practice, Vanguard Metabolic Nutrition. But during that time, I was actually coming out of a second metabolic decline. We had in a short amount of time, our family grew with three new kids, and that meant a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of midnight snacking, and all those symptoms that I had experienced and put in remission, they all came back in a hurry, and my body changed, and everything felt just kind of the same things that I was experiencing. And what really hit me to the point is where I was not being able to even help carry my children because my back pain had worsened. And this is what led me to revise what I was doing and adjust our protocol for people with busy lives, people that don't have time to spend hours at the gym. It's like with seasons of life changing, and
Mhm.
the way now people are working and hustling, it's like you got to find these little segments of time to still be able to take care of yourself, because sometimes you put yourself in the back burner. And since then, I have again kind of put everything back into progression, and developed this 5-step protocol that now is really helping people at all seasons of their life. And during that time, I was going to a pitch, and you had just pitched from the judges, and you were coming back, and for some reason you look familiar to me, and I approached you, and hey, were you at Fort Knox, Kentucky? And you were, but
Yep.
not at the same time.
Mhm.
And then we just made this connection, but the
Mhm.
energy that I felt from you, and it was just like wow,
I'm
just
humble.
gravitated. Yeah, no, it really did, and when I got to that pitch, to my surprise, after I did my 2-minute pitch, the judges had no idea what metabolic syndrome was or what I was talking to about, So at first I felt devastated, and I honestly even went back to because I lost, and I wasn't, I
Mhm.
put all this effort and time to get there, and then I just had lost, and but then not being part of that pitch allowed me to connect and make
Right.
these other great connections that I made now and have established with this Independence, which is a nonprofit organization that helps military spouses, and now able to better understand your product
Absolutely.
and what's going on. So
Yeah. You're doing
so
important work, Franco. You're doing very important work. We
you know,
appreciate you.
yeah,
So,
so this loss came a lot of big wins, and like I say, one was connecting with you. And during this conference, I also met with heavyweight kickboxing champion Randy Blake
okay.
Jr. And we've established a great connection now. He's become a friend. But one of the interesting things he told me that he does every morning is that he does grounding, and he starts his morning with taking off his shoes, going outside, and touching the ground and touching the earth. And for the last 6 years, I've been living in the country, and have resonated with that and understood the importance of that. And there's some emerging science actually with how the earth has a negative charge. And when you're grounding, it actually helps remove antioxidants, and it
Mhm.
helps everything flow better. So it really got me thinking to that. And then later, as I ordered the first pair of SickFit socks, and I mean that day, usually, just like you said, I just use whatever socks. Didn't even think twice of it. But where I live, I raise animals, and I'm also on my feet. And half the time it's cold, so we wear winter boots. And halfway through my animal chores, I would take out my foot just to unroll the soggy sock, and I would have to change it throughout the day. But after wearing that first pair, my feet were dry, and I felt comfortable, and they just felt great, and I just didn't feel that my feet were feeling as tired. And since then, I ordered all socks for all my top, my wife, and we had just converted. And really, a lot of the issues that I was having with like itchy feet and
Mhm.
things like that have really just improved. And now I'm getting the same feedback from patients that are already starting to use that. So it really
Yes,
did make a difference. And it was just something I said that people don't think about, but everything does start at the feet and
absolutely.
goes up and comes down.
You definitely have a sick fit family and a sick fit practice. That is
So
for sure.
yeah.
So
So if you can share with us, what makes the SickFit socks different.
yeah, I like to say that really it's being meticulous and focusing on everything that everybody says they focus on. So we like to think about our socks in seven main key features. So that's a no slip rib because everybody hates a sock that slides down their leg. It's down to how the sock is knitted. It's where's the seam? How are you, helping those with sensory issues? Just really paying attention to everything. It's using really strong breathable materials and being able to have the moisture wicking effect and the arc compression and energy return so that when your foot hits the ground it actually absorbs the energy, which is what you love, Franco. um, but it's just being very very meticulous and listening to user feedback. I say that I have two ears for a reason and I listen to you all to drive our next product and the innovation within the company.
I really appreciate that attention to detail, and it's in those details that make all the difference, and besides all the great benefits for people that haven't seen the socks, they're also look really cool and they're stylish. And when I'm wearing them, I'm like, oh, what are you wearing? So
Hmm.
that's definitely an added bonus. But yeah, we really took this, starting from metabolic health from the ground up, all the way from as we mentioned, what contact you have in the morning with your feet.
Hmm.
And what we're honing in is on these first hour and last hour of your day. It really makes a big difference on how your hormones respond, your energy. So within that first hour, as you're getting out of bed, you want that contact with your feet, stretch out your toes,
Hmm.
move those supporting muscles, and then spend some time just doing some light movement to really get your joints lubricated and everything, following with a cup of water. And actually, water contains hydrogen that helps some of the reactions in our body, especially the release of cortisol, which helps wake up our body well. But if we release it well in the morning, it actually lessens in the evening, which lessens anxiety. So connection with, starting with your feet, getting that flow, and ultimately, as you're moving your feet, that's the ultimate detox system. That's what really moves your lymphatic system. Now, there's like new devices like this, like shaker or something that people are trying to find ways like bring it back to the basics.
Yeah.
Start with walking, moving your feet. But as you're doing that, ensure that you are caring for your feet because now you're putting on more of that. So as you're increasing how many steps you're taking, pay attention to how you're caring for your feet. Have it well supported.
Hmm.
So and then that flows the energy, the blood circulation, everything all the way to the guts, all the way to your organs, to your brain. And as we're talking with the gut and connection, as you're improving your gut health, that flows back, what improves connectivity issues that might be going on. So the gut has this access to all systems of your body. So like I said, it's just this constant flow of energy that you can really optimize starting from your feet.
Absolutely. And I think that's what I mean, you hit it. I mean, that Sick Fit was made to get you to move. It was,
Mm.
to make your steps a little bit more comfortable so you are out moving more and you're enjoying your hobbies and your activities a lot more comfortably.
Yeah, no, and like the direction that we're going and
Mhm.
helping also people with these metabolic disorders. It comes back to foot health. One of the things we specialize is in diabetes, and even at this age and day and age, with all the specialties we have and everything, anybody with diabetes that has a foot ulcer or a cut, there's a 50% chance that it can end up in a below the knee amputation.
Mhm.
So that the neuropathy that people
Mhm.
may experience due to that, then they have that loss of flow, and it literally changes the structure of your foot. So it deforms or
Hmm.
misshapes, how the bone supporting your feet. So everything at the same time as it worsens, everything can be improved with doing some practices like that, and starting with making sure that your feet are staying comfortable, they're staying dry and protected.
Absolutely. I think it's important to note too. I think that working with endocrinologists are always really fun because everybody's
Mm,
so different. But a commonality or kind of a trend that you see is the compliance when it comes to compression socks. You know, compliance there is almost non-existent. You have the person that wears the socks for about 2 hours, or but wearing it throughout the day is just not typically feasible, and you don't ever really see it. So that was the beauty of coming into, starting to work with endocrinologists and being able to see the compliance go up and our socks being worn all day.
yeah, no, and that's such a great point because it is that consistency that really makes a
Hmm.
difference. And just like socks or medication or any of these practices that we're talking about, I talk about the minimum dose that
Hmm.
you have to do this to get these results. And the key is having that consistency. If you can improve how comfortable one's going to be with what
Exactly.
they're putting on their feet, and because I've known patients with compression stockings and stuff, and just putting them on and taking them off and letting them dry out.
Hmm.
And I mean, people get tired of that. It's like you barely have enough time to keep up with all the demands of life. Uh,
Exactly.
things are facilitated for them, and it
Hmm.
feels good. It feels comfortable. Then more likely, and the more they do it, they'll get the benefit back, and then they'll see it. But definitely, since I've been talking about foot health and helping people, just both with their foot health and then improving their blood sugar, people that are experiencing like tingling and numbness with the correct circulation, all that improves. So at any point in this disease or progression, things can be reversed and improved with the right tools and
Hmm.
the right protocols.
Agreed.
Yeah. So yeah, just tell us kind of where you see SickFit going and moving forward, in the coming year or years.
Yeah, well, one of the things you're assisting with currently is becoming FSA, HSA eligible. I think that'll be a big pipeline for us, and it'll be able to be more accessible in different avenues. So that's one of the things we're looking forward to a lot. Continuing to grow within the pro sports space and really helping in the athlete world, but also kind of working with a lot of the ortho, the chiropractors, podiatrists, all of the ologists to say the least, and being able to grow along a lot of you all, and really just get it down to the end user.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm really excited to see the growth of SigFit and to be a part of this growth and this partnership. And I'm out here in the Pacific Northwest, and
Yeah, I'm looking. Hey, I'm using a few of those things. You already know. I'm not gonna say on here, but hey, you are helping in a major way, and I really appreciate it. So thank you.
yeah, no, no. Our mission here is to spread it here and really bring that. And right now, we're in the middle of a challenge going on. We have a 5-day challenge talking
Mhm.
about metabolic health from the ground up, and we ended up with 50 participants.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, they had a great turnout, and anybody that completed the 5-day challenge will receive their free pair of SickFit socks. So we have
Love it.
slouch socks that we got in different colors, and so people will be looking forward to having that experience.
I love
And
it. I'm super
just
excited.
and because of the great turnout and how things been going, I'm gonna extend the registration deadline till today, the end of today. So once we have this, I'll share that for any last comers, because I really do want everybody to experience that feel and everything that comes with it. So with our challenge, we're providing some health nuggets, some
Yep.
meal planners, little recording videos that I have, and everything talking about the things we're working on and everything to really optimize our metabolic health and be able to reach our health goals and sustain them for
Hmm.
long term. And that's
Absolutely.
our goal, and
Definitely.
that's where and
Hey,
so
I'm registered for that challenge too. So hey, I'll be looking for my sick fit socks.
yeah. So yeah, and we'll be coming out with some logo
Right.
about Vanguard Nutrition. So we'll be looking forward to that. But
Absolutely.
yeah, no, really, we all really enjoy the product. It really makes a difference, and it's something that is not just gear that you're wearing that looks cool, but it actually improves your health and really brings in, like I said, all that connective pieces together, and that flow really helps distribute it. Because when your energy is flowing the way it's supposed to be, you're gonna feel at your best. You're
Mhm.
sharp. Your emotions are better managed. So everything just comes into sync better. So I'm
Absolutely.
really looking forward to
Me
the
too.
growth and to this ongoing partnership.
I'm looking forward to standing alongside you for many, many years to come, and watching you grow and watching us grow. So I'm super excited, and you have a friend in me, and whatever you need from me, I'm here to help.
Yeah, no, I appreciate Peyton, and always great connecting with you. And we look forward to meeting up again.
Yes. Talk soon, Franco.
Alrighty, thank you.